My rabbits are going to instantly devour this, but for the sake of this video, let's talk about flowers. Oh my god. Clover, you guys are covered in flowers. Good hello everyone and welcome to Fins and Whiskers. If you're new here, make sure you boop that subscribe button in the snoot and we'll get on to the video. Now I am going to list only 10 in this video. There are a lot more safe flowers that you can give your gerbils. However, I try to use clips that are my own, and so I am working on growing more plants of those flowers that are safe, so do look out for those in the future, but for now I will be listing 10. Each flower has a different property and benefit for your gerbil, so I first want to talk about how flowers play a role in a gerbil's diet. Now, flowers are kind of like treats, very healthy treats that you can give a little bit more often than treats with sugar in them. You can give them almost daily or every other day. If they are dried flowers and not fresh flowers, they won't add to the water content in your gerbil, so you can give them daily or every other day. I personally like to give them at least once a week. I don't always give them daily, however, I do try to give a few times a week, but as long as it's just at least once a week, it's fine enough. And for those of you that know me, you know I am obsessed with plants and growing plants that my pets can eat. So if you do want future videos on how to grow a specific plant of that flower, let me know and I'll make a care video on it. I know that some of you really like the flax video that I did. If you haven't seen that, check it out, where you can grow your own flax seed pods, because I know those are hard to find. And flowers, finding them in stores, unless it's a pet store, can be very tricky because they might have pesticides and they're not always available in supermarkets, so it's definitely a tricky situation. Sometimes you have to resort to getting your flowers online, but it's much easier when you can grow them yourself, dry them yourself, and just include them in your life. So let me know if you would like to see videos on any of the flowers listed in this video, if you would like to see the care on them so you can grow them for your own gerbils as well. And if you're wondering how much flowers your gerbil can have in a day, there really is no rule of thumb for this. So I just usually try to sprinkle it around their cage, not as much as their food mix, just a pinch with my hand and sprinkling it around their bedding, and that's usually enough for them. And they won't eat all of them at once. Sometimes they'll use them for nesting material, or they'll eat them later on, but it kind of acts like hay in the sense that it can stay in their cage longer than their food mix or salads, so do keep that in mind. Don't worry too much about how much you're giving, just a pinch with your hands should be fine enough. Now, when I am talking about the properties of this plant, do keep in mind that these are not from studies that were done on gerbils or any kind of rodent. There actually are no public studies of that to my knowledge. So I am using what we know about the plant for humans and just in general their medicinal properties. So keep that in mind. These might not be 100% the effect for gerbils, but it does give you a general idea of what it can do and help with. We are going to start off with mallows. Now, mallows have a highly possessive source of antioxidants. Antioxidants are very powerful because they can slow or even stop free radicals from damaging cells. So basically, it stops things from getting to those cells and damaging or killing them, and so this can be especially helpful when your gerbils are in the elderly ages, because their cells and different parts of the body's functions tend to slow down, and so these can really help aid those cells being protected. The next safe flower is calendula, and calendula is also known as pot marigold, but I will still put the scientific name because it can be a little bit confusing. You do not want to give marigold to your gerbils. These are toxic, and I'll put the scientific name of that too so you can see what those are. It's really similar looking, kind of, and it's kind of confusing that they're both known as marigold, but we're gonna clear that up here. But calendula is an amazing flower because it has anti-inflammatory and wound healing properties. And an anti-inflammatory basically can reduce swelling and can also relieve pain. Now, I won't be listing the vitamins and minerals that each of these flowers contain, but they all are pretty much each rich in these nutrients, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, the next safe flower are roses. These can aid digestion, and this basically flushes out toxins, so it's an amazing plant. Almost all parts of it are edible as well, so it's definitely one of my favorites and one that's a little bit easier to get your hands on. So those are roses. They also have rich vitamin C out of most of the vitamins. The next safe flower are cornflowers, and these can be considered a weed, but they are amazing for pets and even yourself. They can be edible for humans. Now, cornflowers are antiseptic, and they also contain anti-inflammatory properties. And an antiseptic basically prevents the growth of microorganisms that can cause diseases, so it's definitely a benefit. So yeah, chamomile, a very popular flower for both humans and pets, are safe for gerbils as well. They actually do have a study on hamsters that basically proved that the scent can reduce anxiety and stress in hamsters, and I'm pretty sure it would be very similar for gerbils as well. But other than that, they also contain antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. Hibiscus is another popular and safe flower for gerbils. They may boost their liver health. They can also aid in preventing cancer. Now, this does not mean that they cannot get cancer if they eat hibiscus petals. There's just no way, and that goes for humans as well. I mean, you cannot eat hibiscus or drink hibiscus tea and not have cancer. It just does not work like that. But it does contain compounds that can prevent it a little bit. Nothing extraordinary. It's not going to be, do not worry if your gerbil ends up with cancer. It's not strong enough of a plant to do that. But it can also help fight bacteria, and overall makes a healthy treat for your gerbils. Not only are sunflower seeds edible for gerbils, but so are these sunflower petals, and they are a bright and sunny treat for your gerbils because they can help fight against cardiovascular diseases, as well as help protect against infections or aid in the healing process of an infection. They also support digestion and aid in the prevention of damage in the cells. The flowers of clover are also beneficial and safe for your gerbils, and these are very helpful against respiratory issues. They also benefit the hair or fur of gerbils. Baby's breath is another safe flower for your gerbils. Now, again, these do supposedly, allegedly, contain anti-cancer fighting properties. Take that with a grain of salt. But they also help and improve blood circulation. And lastly, pumpkin flowers, which you might be able to find in a supermarket. I know here where I live, I do find them everywhere in the supermarket, even all year round, but it might be different for you. However, pumpkin flowers are a flower that are edible and safe for gerbils. They can help with bone structures, and they are a very rich source of vitamin B9, which really enhances their immune system. And again, they're also rich in different vitamins and minerals, so they make a great safe flower that you can feed your gerbils as well. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys found a flower that works for you and you can find in your area. However, although I will be making more videos about more flowers that you can give your gerbils in the future, feel free to ask me in the comments below on if a flower is safe or not, and I will be happy to help you out, especially if it's something you can find easier than any of the ones I've listed. But that is it. Comment down below with your favorite flower, and I'll see you guys next time.